What is good, yo? It's your boy Ty back here with another video, and in this video today, this is gonna be basically me just talking to you guys about the $250,000 tournament. Because I mean, guys, I haven't actually got the chance to do it on my YouTube video, and I haven't streamed on Twitch. So this is kind of my first opportunity to just sit here and talk to you guys about yesterday, talk to you guys about kind of the journey in general to obviously end up coming out on top. So before we dive any further into that, if you are new to my channel and haven't yet, make sure to smash that subscribe button as we are on the road to 90,000 subscribers. So guys, for those of you who do not know, this year we were able, yesterday, if you guys are watching it today, yesterday we were, last night, able to secure the win over Definitive. And I just want to start this video by saying shout out to Definitive, man. I absolutely, like, he's one of my guys. I respect him so much. I mean, he had to go through it in game 2, when obviously, I mean, the game wasn't necessarily going his way in game 2 anyways, but just him losing out on the chance in game 2 obviously was super upsetting to me in general. And 2K didn't have a way for us to play with this spread, and so it was just kind of an unfortunate circumstance. But you know, I like E. He's one of the toughest dudes in the community, and if you guys don't agree with that, just go back and watch game 1, which, you know, will be posted here shortly, because he is he's one of the toughest dudes I've played all year. He is. He's nearly impossible to guard, and I really had to lock in 100%. But I just wanted to give a massive shout out to Definitive. For those of you who don't know, his power just simply, you know, went out for like a second and then came back on. It was windy, you know, his power went on. It's just some freakish thing in game 2, but it's hard to come back from, obviously, in game 3. But in game 2, I feel like that's when I really started to play well anyway. So I'm not saying, you know, that didn't help me, obviously, because I'd be a fool to say that. But for me to say, I still am confident that I would have won game 2 and 3. Now, obviously, that affected the series. I'm not agreeing with that, or I'm not, you know, disagreeing with that. But what I'm saying is, you know, that's when I started playing well. After game 1, I started really playing well, especially on the defensive end, locking in. So just kind of want to clear the air on everything that happened, because there's probably a lot of confusion behind what happened in general. And yeah, that's exactly what happened. So here we go. Okay. The road to this was, it was not easy. In general, you know, qualifying isn't necessarily the hardest thing to do. As long as you don't get DQ'd, you got 4 opportunities. I did lose in the first qualifier to JayCanada, who obviously qualified on both gens, so he's tough. Still did secure my current gen spot. Obviously, I didn't, you know, meet anybody. I didn't meet Splash in the finals of current gen, but on next gen, we were able to secure the spot in the next qualifier. So, I mean, I really qualified in the first 2 kind of months, or the first 2 opportunities. So, I mean, that went according to plan. Obviously, you know, the preparation is just ridiculous. Getting your lineup right. And that's something I feel like people don't realize. In 2K19 or 2K20, it was easy, right? Because in 2K20, you could not add Hall of Fame badges, if I'm remembering correctly. Now, I might be wrong, but I don't think there were Hall of Fame badges that you could add to players, because I don't remember ever thinking, you know, wow, I mean, this card is gonna have, you know, 51 Hall of Famers. Like, you just didn't. So I don't think that was a thing back then. So it was a lot, you know, easier, a lot cheaper to just do. Now you just gotta have basically the best lineup possible, and there's no kind of limit to that. So, you know, my Kawhi with 51 Hall of Famers, stuff like that, it's no fluke. So I mean, that was probably the biggest thing that a lot of you guys need to realize is, I mean, it's tough, man. I mean, this team right here costs way more probably MT in money than you guys realize. So I'm just kind of throwing that out there to you guys who don't realize, like, that's, you know, one of the hardest things to do is get your lineup ready. So obviously, how do you get the lineup ready, and then prepare it on PlayStation 5. That's something that people don't want to talk about enough. And I think it was really on display in the current gen series. I mean, I love Swaggy to death, and Swaggy will agree with me 100%. He was not moving like Swaggy moves. And credit to Splash. Splash was tough on defense. But it's just like Swaggy looks so uncomfortable on that PlayStation console. And it's part of it. It's tough when you play on Xbox the entire year to just all of a sudden switch to PlayStation. And that is legitimately super, super hard to do. So I'm hoping next year at some point we can get this cross-platform stuff figured out so we can just play on our own consoles, because I feel like that would just be the ultimate solution instead of just having to play on Xbox or on PlayStation. Because look, man, here's the deal. I'm just putting this out there. 2K is so lucky I had an extra power cord, because they got to get this thing in LAN, okay? They got to get the tournament in LAN, because, look, with what they sent me, which I received on Friday, I didn't even receive a power cord for the PlayStation. Now, I have a PlayStation 5, so lucky enough, it was all fine and all worked out. But what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that's necessarily 2K's fault, because mistakes happen. But if you're going to send this stuff a day before, I mean, it's a bad setup right now. And in the future, we've got to do better as a community to somehow get this thing in person. Because with Definitive's freak thing yesterday, with his power going out, with in 250, the thing that happened to me on current gen, with So's thing getting fried offline, booted, whatever that happened, this has just got to eventually be put to an end. And if they can fly announcers out, these commentary guys, they can fly the people that make it happen, right? I respect the commentators. I respect Alexis. I respect Dirk. I respect all of them. But what I'm saying is, it's not a show without us, okay? So fly us out next year, and let's just solve this all, right? If it's a money problem, all right, cool. Make it one tournament next year. Heck, make it a $125,000 tournament instead of $250K. And that's coming from the guy that's won it twice in a row. I don't care. Fly us out. I care about the community. That's something that definitely needs to happen, so these freakish things just don't occur. So that's just kind of a side note that I'm thinking about while talking in this video. But yeah, that's got to change in the future, because look, man, I mean, it could have happened to me. I mean, it was storming super bad on the current gen day anyways in Iowa, so I wouldn't have been surprised if I would have just lost power. So something they've got to eventually fix or have ways around, because look, if you're gonna keep it like this, it's a mess, and it's an absolute mess. And if the big thing for me is, if you can fly the commentators out, you can fly us out. It's that simple. COVID's not an excuse if you can fly them out. So that's all I'm going to say. If you can fly those four out, you can fly us four out competing. But, I mean, all around, guys, the journey, it was a long grind, right? Because I had to play both current and next gen. And the crazy part is the amount of time that I spent on current gen compared to next gen in the last month has to be like 2 or 3 to 1. And I prep different than a lot of people. A lot of people, you know, before these big tournaments, and I know DBG was talking about this, they'll, you know, get a scouting report on your opponent. Which, you know, obviously in real basketball, you want to do. You want to scout them, specific sets, stuff like that. If you ran plays, stuff like that. You pick up on tendencies here and there, sure. You know, they scout, they lab the game 24/7. For me, look, man, I'm going to play 2 or 3 games a day. 2 or 3 sweats. Get my icons down, as long as I'm comfortable there. Not shoot earlys or lates on PlayStation, which I did a lot of earlier this year, and I'll be fine. I shot 1 early or late yesterday, and it's because I spiked. That was it. And so I was comfortable enough on PlayStation. I was like, look, I'm not going to burn myself out of the game, because I feel like that's a lot of times what happens. If the series goes 3 games, I'm going to win the majority of the time, because people don't have that mental toughness, you know, they just don't. And so, you know, they don't have that mentality. And so I just know I'm fresh. I'm not going to burn myself out. And I feel like I get stronger. So, you know, that's my preparation differs from other people. I might come out flat like I always do. For some reason, I always get off to slow starts, but it's all going to end up evening out, because I'm gonna make my run. And again, I'm gonna go back, watch the series, because obviously something changed between game 1 to game 2 and 3. I'm gonna include game 2 in that first quarter, because honestly played well. And I'm not taking anything away from Definitive in his situation, but I played really, really well in game 2 in general. So I mean, look, guys, if you watch the game, you guys know there was just a major change in those kind of in how that was played, and that's just something I feel like I make some good adjustments as we go. But yeah, guys, honestly, I'm still just shook about the whole situation, the whole Definitive situation more than anything. I think that's just, it has to be on LAN, and that's something I'm gonna definitely advocate for, because look, at this point, I know the 2K League, they might do some tournaments in person. There's no reason the only MyTEAM event of the entire year is that they don't fly people out. They did it the first year at the All-Star game. Why not have that opportunity again? I know it might be earlier in the year. Heck, fly us out to anywhere and let's make it happen. It's one weekend. 2K definitely has it they did it for globals and that was 8 people. So I know that in their payroll they can definitely do this and get this thing set up, because if it happened for globals, it should be able to happen with this. And in globals, let's talk about that, guys. I want to talk about this. In globals, they flew me and 7 other people out 2 different times. So let's talk about that. That is a total of 16 flights paid for, 16 hotels paid for. No, let's do the math, okay? 16 people on current gen, okay? 16 people on next gen, okay? On both consoles. So 64 people. Yeah, that's a lot, okay? It's about 4 times of what they did before. But it can happen. I promise you it can happen. I promise you they can fly each and every person out. And it's honestly not that hard, because they asked me exactly what airport to, you know, they were super understanding whatever flight, like I don't think money's the issue. And so that's what I'm saying. I just think it's laziness more than anything, and hopefully this year is the year that just, you know, makes this not happen. But who says no to this? Okay? Who says no to this? Well, what if we just did this? What if we went in it with, like, okay, Fridays you play, you know, Friday, Saturday you play, you know, the 64 person Xbox on Friday, PlayStation on Saturday, whatever you guys want to do. Current gen on Friday, play next gen on Saturday. I don't care. Final Sunday. I just feel like that would be absolutely incredible. Get the crowd in there, you know, not like a crowd, but like families, whatever. It would just be so fun. So that's, you know, in down the road in the future what I want to see. But in general, guys, I'm stunned. I'm excited because, guys, I went back to back. I made 2K history. I don't know if I don't know what the future holds for me as far as competitive MyTEAM. I really don't. And when I say it, it's not like are you done? Are you retired? No, it's not like that. It's just like, I don't know, man. It's just I feel so different right now, because it's like year 1 it was like, okay, I got that off my chest. This was just like a surprise more than anything, because it's like I didn't play next gen all that much, and so, you know, me coming out on top, it's like, it's crazy to me. It really is, because I wanted obviously to win current gen, but on next gen for me to be able to win, it was just absolutely ridiculous. I will say this, you know, I don't know what the future holds, but I will say this. I would be the MyTEAM Unlimited 250k champ 0 times if it was a best of 1. Splash bopped me around last year in game 1. Definitive bopped me around in game 1 this year. And so if it was a best of 1 and not a best of 3, I would be 0-2. I would be 0-2. And so that's something in the back of my mind, like, what can I do next year, right? Looking forward. Making the finals, obviously. 3-peating, obviously. But can I ever sweep somebody? Like, can I ever just, you know, win the first game and then win the second game? Or do I always have to lose the first game and then, you know, pull this crazy comeback, you know, story off? It's just, it's absurd. I feel like my next gen story is something that will go down, you know, in 2K history in a way, just because it's like, look, man, I did 10 minutes before the actual Xbox side of this thing, I didn't even think I had the opportunity. And then you look at it after I won everything and you're like, it's just crazy, you know, that the chance you thought you got ripped away from you turns into a champion. Like, I won it all, and that's just, it's just crazy to me. My lineup really wasn't even where it needed to be during that Xbox side, so it's just absolutely crazy. The highs of this year, the lows of this year, man, it was all worth it, and that's something, like, I think that you guys can even take away in your everyday life, like. You can't ever get too high, you can't ever get too low. And that's something I try to implement in my life, because, I mean, after current gen, I was super upset, super disappointed, and then look now, you know, I don't want to get too high, because anything can happen, you know, like, anything could happen in my life, but this feeling's incredible, and I can't phrase that enough. This feeling's incredible. I don't even have the words for it, but all I can really say is, shout out Splashy, shout out Swaggy, shout out Definitive, man. Those 3 are all super deserving of rising to the top. Obviously, Splash and I wanted to meet at the top. You know, hopefully next year we can make that happen. But Definitive and Swaggy, don't be surprised if they're back next year. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't be surprised if they are back next year. Playing this game. But all in all, guys, I love each and every one of you guys. The support has been absolutely absurd. Just wanted to kind of make a video recap and everything. I was kind of all over the place in the video, but I feel like that's what makes these videos okay. Is because look, these are just my honest thoughts and honest opinions. I'm just thinking as I go. I don't have any notes because look, there's a lot to talk about. What is the future of 250 gonna be like? Hopefully we can get it on land. What is the future of Ty? Is he gonna play my team? We'll see next year. Probably, but we'll see. Eventually, it's just gonna get to the point where it's like, okay, I've done enough, and I want to, step into that content creation thing. But we'll see next year. I mean, the goal is obviously to 3 people, but we'll see when we obviously get there. But I'm excited, man, of what the future holds as far as content creation. I'm excited about obviously competitive MyTEAM, and I'm thankful for y'all, man. Without y'all, I wouldn't be where I'm at, man. I'm a full-time content creator. Don't have to worry about school. Obviously college right now, which is a credit to you guys. Maybe I should be going to school. That's a conversation for another day. But look, you guys made it happen. Because of you guys, I was able to, really lock in while other people, had school, had class to worry about, had finals. I was able to lock in and get my squad right, get me right. So I love y'all. End of story, man. You guys are the absolute best, and I love each and every one of you guys. It's gonna wrap it up for the video. Again, I was all over the place. Apologize for that, guys. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys, and have a blessed day.